and it's a definitive problem. I mean, so another article that we have up in the queue is from the Wall Street Journal, and its title is "AI Doesn't Know Much About Golf or Farming or Mortgages," and it's basically highlighting something that we've talked about, a ton here, and that is that
Mhm.
there are all kinds of issues with being able to take this big model and grounding it to your specific data in an enterprise context that actually makes it not just usable, but something you can actually trust. And simple, they gave a simple example about the PGA Tour, and I don't know if it was their CIO. I'm not following right now, but that
Mhm.
they're one of their executives talking about how they couldn't ask it a simple question about how many times had Tiger Woods won won a PGA Tour um, game and match, and it was getting the answer wrong because it kept answering the number of majors and didn't understand the nuance
Mhm.
of the language that the PGA Tour isn't the same as a major. And that's like this simple. You would think they would get that right? And so now to
Mhm.
get that into anything where there's any specific terminology gaps or specific nuance of context that's required, and that's the real issue. And so, this particular article goes on to talk about RAG, which we've talked about in the past, of one way of doing that, connecting AI to authoritative data sources, and then eventually fine tuning, which of course means training the model more specifically. And all of that's tough. It's all tough. It's all expensive, and every layer of increased veracity drives increased costs and increased maintenance and all that goes with it. And so it just speaks to the fact that, I mean, while I'm not sure that augmented intelligence is doing something that is going to deliver this, there's a definitive need to figure out how to make this more practical and how to actually make it work.
Right. And I think that particular example probably speaks to a very basic relationship. Probably when you look at a biography of Tiger Woods, it says Tiger Woods plays on the PGA Tour and has won whatever 15 majors or whatever that number was. That is basically how it is always stated. The problem is that is stated more often than the number of tournaments that he's actually won, and that's going to be the type of relationship building issue that we see all over the place because once we tokenize all of this language, all of this becomes a math problem to the model where you're just trying to figure out which tokens are associated with which other tokens most often. And I hope that is the correct answer. That is fundamentally how these models are programmed to work. And the sooner we learn to accept that that is simply the foundational starting point for all of this AI, the easier it'll be for us to adjust to that and realize there are certain weights and certain relationships that we are just not going to be able to change within these closed models because that is just how they are programmed. And we have to adjust and align and fine tune uh, and figure out how to uh, create more audit, more customized versions for ourselves at the end of the day.
Yeah.